writer Brian Windhorst, our senior insider Sham Charania joining us here. Let's start in Denver, where Jamal Murray put up a career-high 55 points in a win against the Blazers. PERK, I am going to start with you. The Nuggets have won an NBA best 8 straight games. Are they the biggest threat to the Thunder out west?
They absolutely are. We know what Jokic is going to bring to the table. He's been doing that all season long, his entire career. But now the others are stepping up. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun. I'm sorry, Nuggets fans, he has elevated his game, but they are the second best team in the Western Conference right now, more complete team.
And one of the biggest shockers of the night, maybe, the Giannis and Dameless Bucks took down Ant and the Timberwolves. Ant came in with 3 straight 40-point games, but shot just 10 of 33 in a 2-point loss. So, Brian, PERK said that he thought that Ant would be standing on business here. What happened?
Well, they were really red hot, the Wolves, the last few games, but they've lost their mojo. And when Ant has a low-efficiency game, they don't have as many offensive options as they did a year ago.
Well, lastly, the Suns' slump continued. They fell to the Rockets 119-111 in their last game before the break. KD did finish with a game-high 37. They have fallen all the way down to the 11th seed, a game out of 10th. There was no Devin Booker in this one, no Bradley Beal, but still, the Suns really need to start racking up these wins because the All-Star break is coming at a good time for Phoenix. They've had a rough month, but hey, a lot of folks have, so let's just breathe here. Phoenix just 1-6 in their last 7 games this month. That's tied for their second worst in the league right now. Another issue is that the games, they haven't really been close. They've been outscored by almost 11 points a game. So, Brian, is there anything, do you think, to be hopeful here for the Phoenix Suns?
I wish I had a different answer. The Suns, some of the parts just don't make sense. They have a lot of talent. They've really worked hard to build out this team. When they first put Durant and Beal together, they didn't have a good supporting cast. I think they do now. They have built out guards. They have made some trades to get wings and to get big men. But Malika, you put them together, and it's not equaling wins. You are what your record says that you are. For a while, they had a pretty good record with Durant on the court, and then when he was out with injury, they were well below 500, and you could kind of just hope that if Durant was healthy that this team would play well. But even those hopes have diminished because Durant has been on the court recently. He's been playing well, putting up big numbers, and they've been losing. It's extremely frustrating. A team that is the most expensive team in the league with this kind of star power is multiple games under 500 going into the break.
Say it, Wendy. Say it. Say it. How do you have this much talent on the roster and not be successful, right? And has underachieved. The second, they're right there with the Philadelphia 76ers as far as most disappointing teams. Why is that? You get a new head coach, you got some offensive firepower, you thought you filled the void as far as the positions that needed to be filled, the point guard position, the center position. You got a nice little young stud in the kid Richards you just acquired. Every time I look up, he's having a double-double. Why can't this turn over the wins? I'm not about to sit up here and bash KD today about leadership, right? But there's something going on that's not clicking. When you look at this team, they play a bunch of individual basketball. There's nowhere in hell you have a veteran squad that can't pull together and know that, hey, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen in the future, in a few months down the line when the season is over. Yeah. We don't know who's going to get traded. Why can't they pull together right now and turn these losses into wins?
But PERK, they knew this roster was incomplete and needed something. That's why they tried so hard to go and get Jimmy Butler. This is an incomplete basketball team. They're missing that toughness, that edge. You've been talking about it since December. This team needed that toughness and that grit. We're seeing what Jimmy Butler does for the Warriors. He's willing to sacrifice his stats. He just wants to win. He's able to do the little things for Stephen Curry and for Draymond Green. Right. That's what they wanted here. I think this next second half of the season, to me, is just appreciating the joy of watching Kevin Durant and appreciate his game. I mean, he's 6th in the NBA right now in points per game. He leads the NBA in field goal percentage on jumpers. He leads the league in field goals, the jump shots per game. His game is aging gracefully. And listen, the Golden State Warriors, and I talked to people around there, they really feel like they had an agreement in place to go get Kevin Durant and bring him back. The only problem was Kevin Durant did not want to go back. He wanted to finish out the season in Phoenix. He wants to enjoy playing with this younger type of roster that we saw last night. I mean, there were some players on that team last night in first, second, third year, very young. And so this summer's going to be a different story. I think there's going to be some hard conversations between the Suns and Kevin Durant in communicating and figuring out his future.
I think we have a lot of conversations, to your point, about Steph and about LeBron and about whether or not a year here or there, was this a wasted year? And I sort of wonder why those conversations haven't started with Kevin Durant, because he's done everything. He's averaging 27 a game. He's mentioned in trade rumors his team is under 500. I don't think that's fair to one of the game's greats. And it's going to be very interesting to see. It's something that the rest of the league is tracking. What is going to happen to him this summer? We got a lot to get to on the show with all 30.
Sixers, they suffered their fifth straight loss, 196 to the Nets. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey did not play due to injuries, and the third member of their big three, Paul George, had just 2 points in 37 minutes. He went 1 for 7 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3. We're back with NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins. So, Perk, you tweeted about Paul George and his performance. What is your perspective on the first half the 76ers have had?
Oh, well, look, they're the biggest disappointment in the NBA the first half of the season. I believe that they should shut Joel Embiid down for the remainder of the season and let him get healthy and put a damn plan in place. That's number one. Number two, this franchise belongs to Tyrese Maxey. This is his team. And number three, right now, Paul George can't play dead in the Western movie. I don't know what's going on, but he was the biggest acquisition this season, this offseason, for him going to the Philadelphia 76ers. And he is not moving the needle at all. On a night against the Brooklyn Nets, when you have no Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, he goes out there and put up a PERK stat line. And when I say a PERK stat line, those are stats that role players put up. They're guys that could affect the game. Their numbers don't show up in the box score. No. Paul George numbers actually need to show up in the box score. That's why he get paid the big bucks. And if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, he's the first thing I'm looking to shop this offseason once this season is over.
Yeah, we were very excited to see him there in Philly. It's obviously not working out how we expected it to. Okay, so as the first half comes to a close, let's play a little game. Perk up, perk down. What's your perk up for the first half of the season?
My perk up is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have everyone around the league is still like not believing in this team, and I don't understand why. They have the best perimeter player in the game in SGA, who's probably going to win MVP. They check all the boxes. They're the #1 defensive team in the league. They just got back Chet Holmgren. Him and Isaiah Hartenstein are going to do wonders. This team is going to the NBA Finals.
Put some respect on their name. I love it. Okay, what's your perk down?
My perk down is the Minnesota Timberwolves, not because of Anthony Edwards, he's been balling, but because he hasn't had any help. And when you look at what they did last year and what they accomplished, they had Karl Anthony Towns, and now Karl Anthony Towns is over there balling on the MVP level with the New York Knicks. I'm perked down right now on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, and finally, what are you percolating for the second half of the season?
I wish I could start dancing right now. I'm showing some love to the Milwaukee Bucks. They had a great win last night without Dame Dollar and Giannis